Is WBO lightweight world champion Abdullah Mason ready for another step up? Now, if you're WBO world lightweight champion, that in and of itself suggests, yeah, you're ready for a step up. But when you say a step up, who do you really mean? Because like I said, you're a world champion, you're basically at the top of the division, but there's still a level of fight that Abdullah Mason hasn't fought yet. So if you're looking at the big names at 135, or not even the big names necessarily, but a step up, guys who'd be a step up, your Andy Cruzes, your Tanks, and even Oshaki Foster was thrown into the mix from the article that I read. Now, Oshaki Foster said that he's not going to be staying at 135, and out of the names I listed in terms of Cruz, Tank, or Oshaki Foster probably is the most winnable fight for Abdullah Mason, because Oshaki Foster is definitely a skilled operator, definitely technically very solid, and solid defensively too, but I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that evasive enough to avoid Abdullah Mason's power, speed, and punches in general. So I think that actually is a winnable fight for him. But other names, your Floyd Schofields, your William Zepadas, your Muratalas, you look at it and I'm thinking, Abdullah Mason, he's a big puncher. He's physically big as well. But he gets hit a lot. And against the likes of Gervonta Davis, who, to be fair, against Gervonta Davis and Floyd Schofield, who are guys who genuinely have significant amount of power at 135, in my opinion. These guys are hard-hitting 135-pound fighters, and if they land clean on you, especially if they land consistently clean on you, they can stop you. Floyd Schofield put Tevin Farmer out on his arse in a round. We've seen Tank catch multiple bodies, right? But then you look at the guys who are more boxers, your Andy Cruzes, your Oshaki Fosters. I think Abdullah Mason will be too much for Oshaki Foster to handle. I don't think he'd be too much for Andy Cruz to handle. Again, if you've seen my videos before, you know that I think Andy Cruz is basically the 1B in the division. Shakur's 1A, Andy Cruz is 1B. That's basically how I see the division. I think Andy Cruz will beat Muratala, granted. When Cruz v Muratala fight, that will be Cruz's toughest fight of his career, because Muratala is a no scrub. I underestimated him maybe at first when that fight got announced because I'm such a big Andy Cruz fan. But Muratala's no scrub and he's no war pushover. And if Cruz is going to win that world championship, Muratala's going to make him fight for it, right? But could Andy Cruz beat Abdullah Mason? I think he would beat Abdullah Mason. Yes, Abdullah Mason is young, he's fast, he's powerful, obviously, but Andy Cruz is just different gravy. Same with Shakur Stevenson as well. He's different gravy. Could he beat Muratala though? Maybe. Muratala's the type of guy, even though, again, he's a good boxer puncher, I think Abdullah Mason, I think he can get to him, ultimately. That's really what it comes down to, because I fancy Abdullah Mason to drag almost anyone into a war, right? Except for the truly elite guys who either will stop him if he draws them into a war, or will get stopped, right? So I fancy Abdullah Mason to try and drag pretty much everyone into war. I think he could do that with Muratala. I think he could probably beat Muratala as well. I'd be curious to know what you guys think, though, because that's a bit of a tough one. That's a close fight, in my opinion. Abdullah Mason v Muratala. Even if Andy Cruz beats Muratala next, Muratala v Abdullah Mason would be a really good fight to see, in my opinion. Of course, you've got William Zepeda. I think Abdullah Mason would beat William Zepeda. I think he's just too powerful. And even though Zepeda's never really been hurt or rocked, he's not fought anyone as big of a puncher as Abdullah Mason. Right? And yeah, granted, Zepeda throws a lot of punches as well. He's definitely a high volume puncher, but I mean, I say definitely. He probably the highest volume one that there is in the whole sport. I think statistically that is true. But yeah, Abdullah Mason compared to Zepeda, in my opinion, is low key different gravy. I think Abdullah Mason's a lot better than William Zepeda. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Abdullah Mason is ready for a step up? Do you think he's ready for that next level of opponent at the lightweight division? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.